Okay, now we are going to do the fastest step in enrolling a endpoint. So registering an endpoint in Oracle Keyword 21.9. Step 1 of endpoint enroll. Endpoints are client machines for Oracle Keyword. So this is actually the separation we were speaking about in the beginning of the video. So where we stand, this arrow moves here, registering an endpoint. And what is the procedure? Let's go back. A system admin register the endpoint. System admin or OKV admin, for us it's the same. So this is the endpoint name. I need the IP address of that endpoint as well. So I just take the endpoint IP here. This is the IP. Alright, so go to the web console of system admin, endpoints. Okay, let's go to the system console. Go to the endpoints and then add. Now we are in endpoints, not an endpoint group. Until now we added we were in a endpoint group for last two steps, but now we are in the next one. So we stick to the endpoint. Let's see. Let's go over here. Yes, endpoints, and we are going to add an endpoint. It's very much, it's very easy to understand. Even if you want to read the Oracle document, you can read and come back here. But unless you read the Oracle document, you don't understand the concept. So just coming here and clicking things around, it is very challenging. You understand the make unique button has so much things to deal with. So now web console is keyword admin, endpoint. Alright, this is not the one. We are here. So sorry. Web console system admin endpoints, and enter the details as requested. Remember, for TDE, choose Oracle databases type and register. Okay. So endpoint name, make it unique if you want. Yes, you can make it unique, but I already have, I don't want to do that. So I just keep endpoint as this. Right. For me, the endpoint and endpoint group really doesn't make a lot of difference. Because this is because I need to keep it. Yeah, I will just say endpoint underscore gg4. Yes, because I will not have much. If I have more than one database and then more than one TDE, then I will need to register that as a separate endpoint on top of what I will have. Because each database becomes one endpoint. Interesting thought. Each, it's one server, but two different databases. So how are they identified? Anyway, because endpoint is associated with the virtual wallet, and the virtual wallet is your security container. Say if my database is ggSRC04T, it has its own TD key. I don't want that to be shared with my ggSRC03T, because 03T may have different endpoint, different security objects. So I don't want them to be sharing. So I need to keep them as a separate endpoint. Alright, so it's correct only. Let's create this endpoint recent OS. Okay, and I'm not clicking make unique. May take few seconds only. Let it come like that. So type you have Oracle database cloud services, Oracle non-database, Oracle ACFS, MySQL database, SQL server, and other. I'm leaving it as Oracle database because this is main purpose is to store TD key. You can see enter the details requested. Remember, for TD choose database type as Oracle databases type and register. Linux platform description. So endpoint for host. Yes, we send to yes GG and DB. GGSRC040 alternate email. I'm not going to enter an email address. Cluster subgroup. You can choose to, if you have more than one subgroup, you can choose to choose which subgroup you want to manage. But this is our subgroup. So let me take this information here. Alright, let's register. This is the first step. Registration is nothing but adding the endpoint. After this comes the real step, enrolling. Enrolling is a very lengthy step. I'm going to do this for the first time with you guys, and I don't know what I expect from that. So let's wait for a few minutes, and we'll see how is it coming up in the other node. Maybe if in the meantime, let's see what is it showing for us. We are going to have these two options coming up. Okay. See, endpoints are not visible yet here. See, endpoints is 0 only. It is not registered yet. So, alright, it is registered. This is the first stage. Now, if I refresh, maybe I will show. It will show me here. Yep, it's showing up here as well. Okay, now we need to talk about each of this option. What are they really meaning? Okay, before I do that, stay with me. I want to take a screenshot. Okay, fine. Don't mistake me. I'm doing this with this call being recorded and so on, but I am doing it for my documentation. So, what is this table talks about? We just added an endpoint and the status it shows registered. This is the first step. When you complete the enrolling, endpoint registration and enrolling are two different tasks. Registration only involves web user interface. You're announcing to the Oracle Key Vault that there is a machine of with this particular property is going to get added as an endpoint to you. And Oracle Key Vault prepares itself with some identities for this. Some private SSH key for this machine, and then also certificates and so on. It prepares now as we speak. By the time this is in register state, it should have prepared all this information, and in the enroll stage it will pack all of them and associate all that packing with this enrollment token. This token, I showed you one URL, right, that we are going to use. When you click that URL, it will ask you for this token. As soon as you enter this token, that package will be delivered to you. And that package, you need to take it to the endpoint server and then do the installation to complete the endpoint enrollment. We are going to see that in the next step, but I'm just showing you what will really happen. So let's finish it. So what it means is this is the endpoint name we gave. It's in registered state. This is a token. We will need it for the enrollment. And type Oracle database, platform Linux, default wallet, IP address. That all will be populated soon. Default wallet is going to change. We are going to change it next step. Endpoint description, creation time. Yahoo created. This is 2048 is kind of a mandate now, guys. Earlier, 128 bit length and all are not accepted now. 2K they are asking for. Endpoint certificate expiration time. Okay, see, 1 year is the time. Next year, 2025, the certificate of this machine will expire. You need to rotate it before. It's a issuer is certification authority. Alright, you have suspend, resume, re-enroll, delete, and rotate. Rotate is for certificate rotation, I think. So you have all these options also along with it. You will not see all these buttons if you have a separate user for yourself. Whatever permission you are allowed to see, then allowed to exercise, then those buttons only will be visible for you. Oracle did a good job with this access control on this. Okay. Moreover, it's kind of security tool, right? So you need to really implement all that standards here. So registered. So okay, we had okay, next